Hello there, friends and neighbors. Thanks for coming back to my channel. This is me, Stella Hendricks, and today I'm super excited about the Playboy that we are going to review. This is from 1959. It doesn't say a year, but it just says May, but I happen to know that it's 1959. This one was, at the time, I think the best-selling Playboy's House Party. This is so much like a prototype of the Girls Next Door, in my opinion. I'll talk more about that as we get into it. But can you find the hidden bunny on the front? It's right there. It's in the shadow. She's not really making a bunny with her hand, but that's what they have there. So she's magic. Okay, also because this one is significantly smaller than other Playboys. Like, here's the one I just did. This is 1979. Compare the sizes of them. This one is way skinnier. So I think I'm gonna try to flip through with you a little bit more and show you stuff as we go through, because it'll be more fun for you that way. Let's see. Yeah, okay, all right. Whew, this is an experiment, friends and neighbors. We're gonna see. Oh no, is this gonna stay on my leg? Stay there, bitch. Okay. For dad or grad, send Playboy as a gift. 1 year for $6. Wow. Look how much like Elizabeth Taylor she looks. Wow. It's amazing like how flooringly beautiful Elizabeth Taylor is today, but when you look at the beauty standards of the time, I mean, she either set them or she just unrealistically fulfilled them. Wow. Dear Playboy, Mr. Lenny Bruce is reputed to scathe sacred cows and the pretentious phoniness of a generation. One wonders if his fearless material contains any criticism of Playboy? I would guess not. It is too much to hope that there exists a man who dares bite all the hands that feed him. Bruce has had several bits on Playboy in his current act, including, I want you to know I didn't have to do anything for that featuring Playboy. Oh, I went up and saw the publisher and we danced a little, but there was no kissing or anything like that. That's delightful. Oh yeah, okay, this 1950s advertisement for a suit here, it kind of killed me. Obviously, the long way round is not for the young man in a hurry. Lots of shortcuts are turning up, none more notable than the ones we offer. The suit coat on every one of our cricketer trim lines is newly short, the trousers newly narrow. Pictured here, the newsworthy suit of the future that's completely wash wearable, yet has the tailored look of imported tropical worsted. I don't know what tropical worsted is, but apparently it's a good thing. Anyway, that was completely killing me. Very 1950s. And the 1950s, the way of the future. The future, so everything's futuristic washing machines, all of these great inventions from capitalism. Look at this guy in his gambling book. It reminds me of Walter White. Okay, let's see. Oh, I love this guy. Okay, Sport Chief, jackets for Playboys that close by touch. Okay, so this is extremely cool just because of like how hilarious the stereotypes of the guys are up there. But this guy's the Playboy, right? That literally is the look that Hef took on later, almost like a complete caricature. It's like he deliberately made a caricature of himself and of his life. It's just astonishing to me. Of course, later he had to lose the pipe, but that hat Isn't that like a yacht captain's hat? Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that Hugh Hefner never owned a yacht. I don't, But it was more about, oh, this one I really gotta take care of. But it was really more about a look than it was about like, anyway, I lost my train of thought because I've ripped my book. Oh no. Anyway, something about Hugh Hefner and how it's funny that that guy had that hat. Oh yeah, because Hugh Hefner, he didn't have that look yet. I think he developed that a little while after 1959. Redhead. I went ahead and looked that one up and I listened to it yesterday. And it is a cute, entertaining little musical. No better or worse than most musicals I've heard. Although I don't know why this one is not famous as like, Oklahoma and you hear of other ones, because this one was fun. Redhead, the happiest go-lustiest musical in town, is a valentine lovingly inscribed in song and dance to a red-headed refreshment named Gwen Verdon, currently the First Lady of Broadway and musical comedy. She is equally adept at both pratfalls and pathos. She can sing, she can act, she can dance. It is only fair to say that there is an element of whodunit in the wacky plot, but there is no mystery about what happens to our heroine when she gets herself a job in a music hall and starts dancing. It's just fun, absolutely the type of thing that I would love, and I recommend it. It definitely sounds very 50s. You definitely have to be a musicals person to enjoy it. But if you do, you never heard of it before, like me, check it out. It was so cute. We have Doris Day singing over here. Oh, look at these old radio, I don't know what they're called, records. Oh, this commercial I love. Look at this lady in her 1950s outfit. Oh, look how fancy we are. I love it. And look, the table of contents. How simple, how straightforward, how 50s. Okay, this is so fun. It's kind of like an Agatha Christie mystery on the ship type action going on. A lot of fun. If you like Agatha Christie type stuff, you probably like that. I finally found an apartment, Mom, right on Fifth Avenue. How to Marry a Millionaire. Oh, sorry. Show you. These are kind of fun. This one cracks me up because in Nevada, we actually have a legend about, I think, red-headed giants who used to live in Wadsworth, in the Wadsworth Cave. Anyway, this is probably just a complete, urban legend type thing. But there's a rumor that they found giant bones and that the Indians have legends about red-headed giants that they had to chase out of town. Which is probably not true, but it's very cool anyway. The sweet, or the, oh my God, can I read? Oh no, I must be nervous, I'm stuttering. You can talk, you're fine. The secret of success is a tantalizing plumpness. Even though he doesn't go around singing O Sole Mio all day long, a Neapolitan is usually an amiable person. Also, this cracks me up because I currently live in a city called Naples in Florida. So I am a Neapolitan also. His capacity for enduring irritation is high, but when he finally reaches the point of rage, he is liable to clench his fists and shout, "Ti faccio la testa come una pizza." I'll flatten your head like a pizza. Does anyone speak Italian out there? How did I do? Now the question raises is, which particular pizza does the angry Neapolitan have in mind? It certainly isn't the great tender pizza rustica with its top and bottom crust filled with cheese and egg, nor is it the delicate calzone, folded like a pocketbook and fried in oil, nor is it the plump kind of pizza served in D'Angelo's restaurant in Naples, lush with mussels, onions, and black olives. Nor could it be the kind which Italians prepare for the special hour when the church bells are untied right before Easter celebration, good enough to eat cold as well as hot, or the rich mushroom pizza which Caruso loved. These still represent the genuine poetry of the Italian cucina, which I think means kitchen. Anyway, I just love the way they write in the 1950s and in the 1960s too. Sometimes they get a little too clever for themselves and get very alliterative, and it's difficult to read. But just this, the way that was written was so nice, and it felt almost like watching a movie to read. So that was lovely. Pertinent pointers for a bon voyage, the art of travel. Actually a really helpful little article. I liked it a lot. There is an inner circle reserved for those talented few who perform the art of travel with special ease and grace. To be sapient, to belong, to know your way around wherever you may go, is indeed an art worth cultivating, and the process of cultivation is full of fun in itself. We propose to tell you here not all you need to know, but a goodly portion of the unwritten rules for eliminating that needless cry, "Why didn't somebody tell me?" Ooh, that looks like Japan over there. I do not know who these people are, but it's looking like they're having a great time. Does anyone recognize them? I confess, their names escaped me. Well, I mean, they have them written down there, but I didn't know who they were anyhow. I'm usually pretty good at like vintage Hollywood stuff. Oh, this one's hysterical. It's morning, Mr. Petrov. Time for my screen test. Also, doesn't that remind you of the beginning of Chicago? Oh my gosh, in about 2 seconds, they're both gonna reach for the gun. That's like my favorite musical of my whole life. When I listened to it in high school, the first time I ever heard that musical, I was far too Mormon and far too young and far too scandalized, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. But I recently rediscovered it, and now that I am an adult ex-stripper, burlesque dancer, reviewer of scandalous magazines, I found it much more enjoyable. Wardrobe for a jet weekend. I just love these old pictorials. Look at that lady in red. Look at that dress. Marilyn Monroe could not have looked better. Wow. Pan Am. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Maybe I would have been a sexy flight attendant back in the day. That's kind of like a sexy job back in the day, right? The Girl Had Been Around. Fiction by E.S. Jensen. She was smart, smarter than most, and she taught Bart a hell of a lesson. Yeah, go girlfriend. Teach that, Bart. Bart! That's not a very tough name, Bart. I don't know. I don't care what the Russians claim, it can't be done wearing these damn spacesuits floating around in a room without gravity. Look how sad she is. No! Oh, and look, here we are. We have found our Playmate of the month. In the swim, Miss Fuller of Boston makes it with Miami's Water Follies. Fantastic 1950s outfit. I'm pretty sure these pictures are by Bunny Yeager also. Let me double check that. Photography by Bunny Yeager. Okay, Bunny Yeager is a sexy pinup girl herself. She is one of the first female photographers who really broke it in the boys club of pinup photography. This is in the 50s, and Playboy was one of the first of its magazines to employ female photographers. So I particularly like Bunny, and I think it's just so cool, and I wanted to point out how awesome it is that Playboy, even early on in the game, is using female photographers. They sure could have used a couple more. They didn't do, the best, but this is a really cool moment for Bunny Yeager and everything, and I just love it. So, had to point that out. Sinuous Cindy Fuller was, until quite recently, a secretary in a quiet Dickensian little law office in Boston, Massachusetts. We see her in these photographs in Miami, Florida, whether she was drawn off by her pet passion swimming. Miami offers much to the swimming enthusiast. Plenty of brother and sister enthusiasts, as well as plenty of sun, plenty of water sports, plenty of water. It was in the hope of becoming a professional swimmer that Cindy left the bastion of the Brahmins for the balmy, basketball Florida clime. See what I mean about the alliterations? Oh my God, you guys, give it a little rest. Her aquatic talent plus her stunning looks make her a natural. And just before putting in this issue to press, we learned that Cindy had won an assignment with the Water Follies. Her stunning looks made her a natural for this month's Playmate 2, and her aquatic talent has nothing whatsoever to do with it. Elsewhere in this issue, you'll find 10 pages devoted to a lively Miami party attended by Cindy and 4 other lively ladies. Okay, this is one of my favorite all-time pinups. I'm serious. Cute. Her eyebrows are a little much, but that's the 50s for you. They really liked them eyebrows. A lot of people still do today. They color in their eyebrows. God, it's not the look for me. That's all. Oh my God. Floridian water sports of the masculine variety are fascinated by the fullness of the Fuller fuselage. Okay, I allow that one. That one was good. As a becomingly bikinied Cindy promenades past. Oh, see the alliteration? It's crazy, but that one was not too bad. Although, yeah, she is so sexy. She reminds me a little of Betty Page. Look how ample she is. I don't think that you would see a Playmate from like 1970 until probably like 2010 who would have a full figure like that. I love it. I love seeing the variety. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. I just like seeing variety in bodies. Her body is as sexy as Dorothy Stratton's body. They're just different, So I love that, especially about these early Playboys. Do you have king size? That's great. Oh yeah, okay, here it comes. This is great. This is like the prototype to Girls Next Door. If they had, hit on that idea earlier, like this is it just, I think I already said it. I'm just trying to think of new ways to say exactly what I said before, and I don't need to do that. I repeat myself. This is so fun. This is so great. It's particularly like that issue or that episode of Girls Next Door where they go over to the bunny house to welcome some new playmates, and Holly puts on like this housewife outfit and apparently doesn't know how to cook hamburgers, but that's okay. It's all very entertaining nonetheless. There we go. Look at them on their speedboat, cruising around. I love this one. The girls sunbathing. like a couple of nymphs or Egyptian water goddesses. And here they are sunbathing. I love this one too. It looks like one of those old romantic paintings of like the women in the harem or something. Lounging next to the Nile. This girl in her bubble bath. This reminds me of when the girls went to Las Vegas and they were hanging out in the high roller suite upstairs that was, I think, designed for Hef. Was it called the Hugh Hefner suite or was it called the Playboy suite? I can't remember. This also reminds me of Grease when they're all singing Sandra Dee. Yay, look at her looking through her vinyl, picking the right album. Oh, look at those dresses. Oh gosh, I just love them. There they are. Holly, are you gonna come out and visit us? Oh no, I'm just making hamburgers. I'll be out in a minute. Oh, look at her with her glamorous cigarette. Oh, the 50s. Yay! Oh my gosh. Ooh, unkinied. Imagine. Now they're as nude as Marilyn Monroe in, what was that show called? Something's Got to Give. I love that one. For some reason, this picture reminds me of the Tiki Room. In Disney World. You know what the Tiki Room is? It has like a water fountain in the middle like that. Yay, indeed! That was the best part of this magazine. We'll keep going, don't worry, but that was the coolest part. Hey, what do you think you're putting your arm around me? Don't put your arm around me, you son of a bitch! I'll beat you up! Oh, Tara, I frightened you, haven't I? Amen, sister. The way it ought to be. Boy, that's something I would encourage girls and teach girls. Be mean. Be scary. Absolutely. Oh, look at these old, like, leather wallets. How charming and vintage. I just love that. I don't know why. Maybe there's something, like, the good kind of patriarchal about it. I think maybe it, like, reminds me of my grandfather. Or, like, you know, a responsible man would have a nice leather wallet like that. It says like security to me or something. I love it. I think that's so nice and charming. I can smell the leather. Slick Chick Flick Pick? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so this Playmate, she made a movie with Frank Sinatra. Oh yeah, I forgot this was in here too. Okay, right on, let's read this. Last November, Playboy did a word profile on Frank Sinatra, man and voice. In December, we did a picture profile on Miami Playmate Joyce Nizari. The subject of our November scribbling was sufficiently taken with our Miss December that he signed her forthwith for a bit in his new film, A Hole in the Head, the tale of a Miami Beach hotel owner, which he is co-producing with director Frank Capra, and in which he stars along with Eleanor Parker, Edward G. Robinson, Keenan Wynn. Joyce, who has since been picked out by Playboy readers as their favorite Playmate of the year, plays Keenan Wynn's secretary in the picture. Sinatra personally helped her with a few lines and took her dining and drinking at the fancy Fontainebleau Hotel where the film was shot. That is so interesting because when, I have to think of a nickname for him too. When Peter Bogdanovich, after the tragedy happened with Dorothy Stratton, and he really wanted to finish They All Left, he asked Frank Sinatra for the music rights to put in that movie, and Frank Sinatra really cut him a deal because he knew that Peter was going through some hard times, and that always just struck me as like such a gentlemanly, kind thing to do, and very quite out of character for most Hollywood types as far as I understand. And so I often wondered what it was that moved Frank to be so generous with that director who, as far as I can tell, he didn't have a super close relationship with. But this is interesting that perhaps he had a similar experience of like really falling in love with some playmate, some kind of action like that. It would not surprise me. It's quite a tale as old as time, isn't it? The director and the ingenue. Oh, I love this one. I've just had a great emotional adventure. Yes, girl. Look at her 1950s dress. Oh, I love her. Look at her boobies. She's my fave. Oh, also, these guys are so sexy. I know they're short. Some of their shorts are like kind of laughably short for today, but I like them. I think they're sexy. Don't you think they're sexy? I think they're so sexy. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Oh, look at this. Ooh, yeah, more sexy. Gentlemen's. I think something's wrong with my vehicle too. Oh gosh. Look at these guys over there in their underwear. What inappropriate kind of magazine is this? Oh my gosh. Ooh, she's cute. Playboy accessories for you and your playmate. Beautiful imported Grecian marble statues. I love this one especially because my grandmother had the one in the middle. I believe it's called Eros and Psyche. I need to get a little statue of that someday because I always loved it. The Playmate garter? I want a Playmate garter. A tender tribute with a delicate touch. Dainty, feminine, petite. It will speak for you better than words. A garter of exceptional quality, made of lustrous black satin and filmy imported French lace, and embroidered with and embellished with an embroidered Playboy bunny. How fascinating is this? I want one. And also it says black satin, and there's like a thing going on very recently. They were tallying up votes for black or white satin and which one is sexier. So I guess we're gonna put Playmate garters on the black satin team. Your family crest. I don't think my last name will be on there, but let's check. It is not. I don't think my husband's last name will be on there, but let's check. Oh, close. That one's close. We're gonna give it like a 50% thing. Okay, this is so funny because it seems very scandalous for the 1950s, right? A lifelike simulated human skull of composition stone combined with spun polished brass becomes this handsome clock. Whoop, oh my god, knocked over my stuff. What a scandal. And we have come to the end. Another send Playboy as a gift to dad or grad. That is hysterical. Also, next month, Origins of the Beat Generation, a history and true meaning of the movement as chronicled by its captain, Jack Kerouac. West meets East, sensuous sirens from the Orient bring exotic excitement to American showbiz. The Voyage of the Peanut, fine, funny fiction by a new young writer discovery. The Mann Act, things you should know about it. That was for like, you can't transport women over state lines for prostitution or lewd and lascivious purposes. Which, like, in some ways, obviously, we don't want human trafficking. Obviously, human trafficking is horrible. And obviously, we need as many ways as we can to bust human traffickers like pimps and stuff. But at the same time, that law gets used to bust like burlesque dancers back in the day because, you know, they're traveling, you know, they got to go from this place and go to the next city so they can put on a show. But now they're transporting people across lines for lascivious purposes. And it just becomes another way to oppress and repress women, our sexuality, our freedom, our human rights, and all that stuff. So that's my opinion about the Mann Act. Yeah, and here's a very fun 1950s advertisement on the back of our, whoa, oh my God, very cool Playboy 1950s Playmate house party. Absolute treasure. Absolutely gonna keep this forever. I adore this one. This is like a top, this is a classic. Keep it always. So thank you so much for joining me for another Playboy review. That was tons of fun, and that was a suggestion from somebody, so thank you so much for those suggestions. Just let me know in my inbox or whatever, just leave me a suggestion. I'm always looking forward to what you have to say. So thanks very much, friends and neighbors, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll catch you on the flip side.